Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today I'll be bringing to you a 2025 buyer's guide for tabletop games with a Star Wars theme. If you or a loved one are Star Wars fans and also fans of board games, card games, or tabletop games in general, then this is the ultimate buyer's guide for you. I'm going to be recommending about 10 games across the spectrum of ranging from inexpensive to more expensive, ranging from complex to simple, and everything from stocking stuffers to mainline gifts. I will also be putting links in the description below so you can check these out for yourself. And also, we are still doing a $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. If you are a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my other videos, that enters you to win. We've got a couple of days left on that. I will announce winners towards the end of my videos, so always watch to the end in case it is a winner. I'll usually announce at the beginning if we're going to be announcing the winner at the end of this one. So there's not going to be a winner announced at the end of this video, but in the next couple of videos we will be announcing. So there's a few days left to enter to win for this giveaway. If you don't win this one, don't worry. We are also doing 12 days of Life Day all throughout December. If you're a subscriber and you leave a comment on this or one of my other videos, it enters you to win. And I'll be doing 12 surprise giveaways all throughout the month of December. And I do this every year, so you won't want to miss out. So make sure you click that subscribe button. Also like the video, share the video. There's other links outside of the references to the games that I'm going to talk about in this video. There's going to be other links for social media and Discord and all of that other stuff. If you're interested in any of that, or even Patreon, if you want to help support the channel, links for all of those things are in the video description below. With that said, let's dive in to our first title, and this is a excellent small product called Rory's Story Cubes, Star Wars Edition. What Rory's Story Cubes are, essentially, are six-sided dice with symbols on them that help tell stories. There's going to be some dice that have person, places, or things, and some dice that have like inspirations for activities, like someone running or something happening. And you use these dice, you roll these dice and use them to help tell a story. This is an interactive activity slash game. It can be used for a lot of different things. You can make a game out of it and see who can create the most interesting story. You can also use it to influence role-playing games. You can use this to also kill time in between other games. Can be played very quickly or more long. You can play it for as long as you like. It's a fantastic game for young children, also to interact with older adults because you can get the kids talking. It's good for shy people because you can get a lot of people to kind of collaborate and work together to build a story, and you can do a lot of different things with this one. This one's more of an activity than a game, but it is also a game, and it definitely is an excellent, it comes in an excellent little case. It's also a small enough box that it makes for an excellent stocking stuffer. This one comes in at $13.99, making it very affordable, and it's just a great object to have for any Star Wars fan, whether they're a gamer or not. So this is a very cool one. Coming in next, also very small package, but a whole lot of gameplay. It's Jabba's Palace. Star Wars Jabba's Palace from Z-Man Games is a love letter game. If you've played Love Letter, you're probably familiar with the style of play. How this basically plays is there is a slim deck of cards. Everybody playing will get one card, and then you will draw one and play one when it's your turn. So you never have more than two in your hand at any given time, and you'll immediately play one. Games can be over from minutes to even seconds. It's a very quick player elimination game, but don't let that fool you because the gameplay only starts there. You play multiple rounds of this game. It's possible for a game to be over in about 15 seconds, and the beauty of that is you start up and play the next round, and you keep going. Multiple hands it takes to win this game. You have to win over and over again, and then every time you win, you score a point, and whoever has the most points, depending on the scenario's criteria, will win. Now, what Star Wars Jabba's Palace adds to that love letter formula is a few rules tweaks and a few also new game variants. So there's three distinct different ways you can play this game. So every time you play, you can make it a little bit different. This is also a quick game. It MSRPs for $16.99, and you can play it over and over again. And there's numerical value on cards. So if somebody likes to count cards a little bit, there's some deeper strategy. Although it's very, very simple to play on the surface, it can get kind of deep once you start thinking about the probabilities of what could be played and what has already been played. It becomes a very, very interesting game. I love letter games, and Jabba's Palace is a great way to get Star Wars onto your tabletop through a quick, simple card game. Speaking of card games, you may have heard of a game called Star Wars Unlimited, which brings us to our next entry into this list. Star Wars Unlimited is a collectible card game. If somebody you know who you're looking for gifts for is a fan of games like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, the collectible card game, you may have heard of Star Wars Unlimited, which is a collectible card game. Well, there is a new intro battle Hoth for Star Wars Unlimited. This is a two-player introductory set that features two pre-constructed decks based on the Battle of Hoth from Empire Strikes Back. You've got Leia, you've got Darth Vader, you're going to have a Rebel player and an Imperial player. They're going to be able to face off. You're also going to get rules and also a playmat in this box, and it's everything you need to get started playing Star Wars Unlimited. And if they like that, or if you like Star Wars Unlimited and if you have fun with these decks, then you can add to them. You can buy extra boosters. There's other starters that you can get on top of this, and you can expand upon Star Wars Unlimited. This has actually been a pretty successful card game as card games go. Card games do come and go a lot, but this is the only Star Wars collectible card game out there right now, and it has all unique art. It has thematic characters from across multiple eras. Even Legends characters are showing up in Star Wars Unlimited, and this is a great way to dive in and get your feet wet into Star Wars Unlimited. Now, this one is also very affordable at only $19.99. You definitely won't want to miss out on this. If you or someone that you know and love is a fan of Star Wars card games, this is an excellent starting point and jumping in point. Or if you're already an existing Star Wars Unlimited player, you probably won't want to miss out on the cards that come in this box. Coming up next, also a card game, but not a collectible card game. This is a deck building game. Star Wars: The Deck Building Game has a new expansion coming out called a Mandalorian Faction Pack that is going to be coming out. Now, this is not a standalone game, but it is an expansion to the Star Wars deck building game. And there are two different versions of the Star Wars deck building game. There's the original Galactic Civil War version, as well as a Clone Wars version. And this Mandalorian expansion can work with either of them, but you do have to have one of the base games. If you or somebody you know already plays the Star Wars deck building game, this is an excellent option for them. If not, you could consider also getting the Star Wars deck building game, or getting all three if you want to do that. Any combination of these would work, as long as you have one of the base games. Now, the way a Star Wars a deck building game works is everybody starts off with the exact same cards, and you play them, and then there's damage, and then there's money cards, and you can use your money cards to buy more cards. It kind of simulates the deck designing aspect of either creating a deck or drafting a deck that you might get from something. People used to do this with Magic the Gathering and Pokemon and these other games in Star Wars Unlimited. Designing the deck is a fun activity on its own. And so deck building games were created as a genre to kind of mimic that deck building aspect, where the whole point of the game is to build the best deck. It's a very fun concept, very popular amongst the tabletop gamers, and this one has done it very, very well. It plays fairly quickly. It does have an engine that is similar in some ways to Star Realms, so if you know somebody who's a fan of the game Star Realms, the Star Wars deck building game is kind of inspired by that game, but it does have its own twist. It has a lot of different rules. It has only 2 factions per game, although there are options to open it up to 4-player games now, and there's all kinds of extra different things that the Mandalorian expansion brings to Star Wars: The Deck Building Game. So you can definitely check this one out. I'll have links in the description below. The Mandalorian expansion is available for $17.99. This comes out November 28th, so this one isn't available just yet. It is coming out soon, so you will be able to get it in time for your December holidays if you're Christmas shopping or something else, or birthdays, or just because you want it. November 28th is the current release date for the Mandalorian Faction Pack, but the full games of both the Clone Wars and the original Star Wars deck building game are available now at $37.99 each. Now, onto a different style of game, a little bit more cooperative, everybody working together. We're going to talk about Star Wars Unlock. Now, Unlock is basically an escape room in a box, and this is the Star Wars version of it. Now, this box comes with 3 different adventures, 3 different escape rooms, so to speak. So if you have people who are fans of escape rooms, this is a great way to simulate an escape room on your tabletop. There's an app that goes along with this game that you can use with your smart device, and you can use the cards and materials that come in this box to create one of 3 different adventures that you have to solve within the time limit. Now, the beauty of Unlock is it does appeal to both tabletop gamers and to fans of escape rooms. It does get everyone to work together, and also can integrate with your apps, which is a cool feature. The other thing that's really cool about this is once you've played through all of these, and they're not easy, but once you've played through all of them, you can then share this with your friends. And if they have other versions of Unlock, because Unlock has other games that aren't specifically Star Wars related, you guys can create like a trade circle, which is like, hey, you can play mine and let me play yours, and then my family will run this one and your family can play ours, and you can work that whole thing out. So it kind of gets, different groups and communities talking and trading their games amongst each other. So Star Wars Unlock is a very cool one. Now, this is available for $44.99 MSRP. Next up, one of the hottest and most anticipated board games of the year. This one came out recently. It's the Battle of Hoth. Star Wars: The Battle of Hoth. This one is absolutely fantastic. You've seen me talking about this. A very, very cool 2-player game. Expandable up to 4-player if you have 2 copies of the game. This one is based on the Command and Color system. You may have heard of or played Memoir 44. Think of Memoir 44, but Star Wars. This is inspired by Memoir 44, very, very much World War II game. There you have a hex-based grid. You're moving troops on the map and moving vehicles and trying to earn victory points or accomplish objectives. There's many different scenarios in this game. Plus, you can even make your own if you want. There's cards. There's different leaders that you can run in this game as well, and you can flip sides. There's a lot of replayability to this game, and it's also got gorgeous, tiny miniatures that go along with it, which is also a very cool thing. So it has a very cool table presence. It looks beautiful to play. Your Star Wars fans are going to love this one. Star Wars: The Battle of Hoth is available at $59.99. We're getting into kind of the meatier games here. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit and go from miniatures games and dice games to another type of game that definitely uses dice: role-playing games. We're going to talk about Edge of the Empire, but there's actually 3 different types of the Star Wars role-playing games. Now, these were originally created by Fantasy Flight Games. They're now they're made by Edge, because there were some studio change-ups. So you may have seen or heard of this game before. Edge of the Empire. This is we have the core rulebook we're looking at here, but there are a lot of different books. The Star Wars role-playing game is... It's a big game. It has a lot to it, and there's a lot of books. You may be looking for somebody who's looking to get started in these games. Edge of the Empire is a good starting point for the Star Wars role-playing games, but there is also the Age of Rebellion core rulebook, which would be red as opposed to white. There's also the Force and Destiny core rulebook, which would be black as opposed to white. And the thing is, each of the different flavors of the Star Wars RPG have their own color schemes and their own companion extra books and resource books and extra guides and adventures and things like that. Edge of the Empire is the setting of basically you are in the Outer Rim worlds, and maybe you're a smuggler or somebody trying to hide from the Empire. Maybe you're a scoundrel, maybe you're a bounty hunter, or maybe you're just somebody trying to make their way in the galaxy. And whereas the Age of Rebellion is a little bit more based on pilots and ship combat, and then Force and Destiny is a little bit where your Force users come in. All of these games are 100% compatible with each other. They just tend to have more rules that focus on different types of gameplay, and most people find that Edge of the Empire is probably the best leaping in point. Now, this book is also the cheapest. The Edge of the Empire core rulebook is available at $64.99, whereas Age of Rebellion and the Force and Destiny core rulebooks are at $71.99. There are a lot more books available than just the core rulebooks, but if you have somebody that you love that's a fan of role-playing games, these are a great way to kind of introduce them to this system that is a incredible RPG system. It's my favorite RPG system, yeah, even more so than Dungeons and Dragons. The Star Wars RPG is, in my opinion, the chef's kiss to collaboration, storytelling, and wonderful adventures on your tabletop and in your imaginations. You can even play this on Zoom. You don't even have to be in person. You can. We did this over COVID. We played one of these. And it was absolutely wonderful. So you can have a great time with this. Lots of character creations you can do. Anything from a pilot to a Jedi to a scoundrel to whatever you want. It's wonderful. Really fun. Really fun. Moving up. Star Wars Outer Rim. Very popular game. Came out a couple years ago. It's still a very popular game. This one is a kind of a pick up and deliver. Everybody plays as a different kind of pilot who starts off with a ship, and everybody is trying to earn jobs, drop off cargo, smuggle, steal, do quests for people and earn money and get fame, and trying to become the most famous or infamous scoundrel, bounty hunter, or delivery person in the galaxy. So there's a lot of different ways to win this one. There's a lot of player interaction and a lot of different ways that you can approach playing with, of course, suggested play styles. If you play as Han Solo, then maybe you're going to probably be more incentivized to purchase the Millennium Falcon when you can find it available, or a generic YT-1300 at least. But you don't start out with that. You're kind of starting out as like a Han Solo with just a little puddle jumper, and you're trying to, get bigger and better ships. But you can make the choice. You know what? I think I want this Han Solo to become a bounty hunter, and maybe he's going to pick up a fire spray or an IG-2000, or an aggressor, right? Like there's different ships that you can buy, and you can do a lot of different stuff. You're going to be playing as one of several iconic Star Wars characters. I won't say heroes because they're not all heroes. There's some good guys in here, but there's also some bad guys. This one plays up to 4 players. And with the expansion, there's also an AI mode or solo mode where you can kind of play by yourself and have the different game systems kind of run different opponents for you to play as well. One of the things that's great about this game is that not too many Star Wars games play more than 2 very well, and I find that Outer Rim has a good sweet spot for 3 and 4 players. So if you have a group of 3, for example, this is a great game to be playing. It's a very popular game, and it's not too hard to find people who are looking to play Outer Rim as well. This one is available at $84.99 MSRP, and there is an expansion available for this one as well. But you want to start here, and then if you like this, then pick up the expansion. Now going into more 2-player games, let's talk about Star Wars Legion. This is a game that is going to appeal to the miniatures fan in your life. If you've got somebody who likes to assemble and paint miniatures and likes to play big war games, if somebody was a Warhammer player and is looking to get into Star Wars, boom. Now there are 4 brand new starter boxes. Just came out. Well, 2 just came out. The other 2 are coming out very, very, very soon. I think next week. So you have the Empire and the Rebel starters that just came out, and then you also have the Clone Wars starters that are coming out very, very soon. They're all $99.99 each. Now, what is this? This is a type of game that you are gonna have to build the minis yourself. They're gonna basically like model kits. You're gonna have lots of little stormtroopers and scout troopers and a Darth Vader in there, and you're gonna need sprue cutters. You're gonna clip them out, and you're gonna use plastic cement and glue them together, and then prime them and paint them and do all of that stuff. This is a hobby miniatures game. Now, if that doesn't appeal to you, no problem. There's lots of other games that we've been talking about, and there's even more yet to come. But for you hobby miniatures, and this is a very popular game, and this is a new relaunch of the game with a new edition and new hard plastic sculpts. These are beautiful miniatures, and the hobbyist in your life is going to love you for picking one of these up, or maybe more than one of these, depending on which faction they play. I'm putting a link to the Galactic Empire starter because I'm a little bit biased towards the Empire. But there are a lot of different starters available and a lot of different expansions. This is also an expandable game. This box gets you almost a complete army for a standard game. It does also allow you to play Recon, which is the smaller 600-point list straight out of the box. Well, once you've built and assembled everything. So again, you don't have to. It's a tremendous value. By the way, I believe they may even be taking a loss on these boxes just to get them into your hands because they're that great of a value for what you get in here. You're saving a ton. You don't want to miss these. These are great. If you are looking to get into Star Wars Legion, this is an excellent time. Moving on, my favorite two-player game of all time, Star Wars Rebellion. Okay, this game is Star Wars in a box. This is a board game. It plays two. The box will say that it plays four, but it's really a two-player game. The four-player rules just let the two players kind of share the decisions with each other. So if you're going to just play like a game of chess against somebody else, and you let a partner take every other move, that's kind of how they word this as a four-player game. So it's not really a four-player game. It's really a two-player game. It's Rebels versus Empire. You can have as many people as you want sit at the table while the Rebels are figuring out what they're going to do on their turn. So you can make it a 32-player game if you have 16 people on each side of the table. But it's really a two-player game, and it's an incredible two-player game. It is so thematic and has so much strategy and really cool moments. This is there's not too many games that I would say are an absolute masterpiece, but this is absolutely one of them. It's one of the greatest games of all time, and definitely my favorite two-player game ever made. There's also an expansion for this called Rise of the Empire, and it has some Rogue One based content, which is also a great addition to get. Now, Rebellion, it comes in at $119.99. Now, that may be a steep price. It is a big box. It is full of miniatures. You're having lots and lots of little mini TIE fighters and Star Destroyers and Imperial Walkers and Death Stars. You can build more than one Death Star in this game, by the way, which is incredible. You can blow up planets in this game. Like, how many games let you actually move the Death Star around looking for the Rebel base and say, I don't know if you're on Tatooine or not, but you know what? I'm going to blow up Tatooine. You can actually blow up Tatooine. You can play as the Empire. You can convert Luke Skywalker to the dark side. You can convert other people to the dark side. You might not be able to get Luke Skywalker. All right, I'll take Leia. And you can convert. I once converted Chewbacca to the dark side, and I had an evil Sith Chewie that was doing the Emperor's bidding, and it was the greatest thing ever. You can do a lot of really amazing stuff in this game. And me talking about it for these few minutes don't really do it justice. I have a lot more videos about Star Wars Rebellion if you want to check those out. But it is one of the greatest games you will ever play, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. But even if you're not, it's still an amazing game. But it definitely works even better, especially the way the cards and some of the moments and the situations and the tactics arrive into your gameplay experience. It really makes it feel thematic and appropriate. And every game leaves me satisfied, even when I get my butt kicked. Me and my buddies, we talk about, oh, do you remember that time when we played and this happened? Oh my gosh. It's a game that I talk about more than almost any other game with my friends when we talk about past play experiences of this game. It's wonderful. It's $119.99. It's not cheap, but I think you get an absolute ton of gameplay out of this box. And then if you like it, there's an expansion for it as well. So that's Star Wars Rebellion from Fantasy Flight. And last on the list. Now, I did say I was going to do about 10. This was 10. I'm giving you a bonus one. We're going to come in with number 11. And number 11 is an incredible value for an incredible game. It's called Imperial Assault. Now, Imperial Assault is a game that was considered a complete game, which means that it was an expandable game for a long time where there were a lot of expansions that were put out for this game and new content coming out every few months. And then it finally stopped. And they said, okay, we're not going to be able to make any more. This is a complete game now. There's still a lot of expansion content for this game, but it is not currently under development for new content. So while it is still in print, it is still available. It's not... don't expect any brand new stuff to be coming out for Imperial Assault. Granted, that's usually not a problem. There's a lot of games in here that don't have brand new content still in development, like Star Wars Rebellion doesn't have any brand new stuff coming out either. Imperial Assault, though, is a different type of game experience. Now, one of the things that's amazing about this one is also $119.99. You're getting two games in one. You're getting a skirmish game, similar to something like Star Wars Legion, where you're going to have your forces, your rebels versus the Empire, and you can build a force and take it up against somebody else's force. And that's cool. But you're also getting a campaign. Now, Imperial Assault's biggest strength is the campaign. It is a one versus many system, where that means I might play as the Empire, and I control all of the bad guys on the board. That means I control all the Darth Vaders and all of the Stormtroopers and everything. But up to 4 other players can play as heroes. And they only have to control themselves, and they are focused on going from mission to mission, trying to defeat me, the Imperial player. And depending on how each mission goes, I might get more points, you might get more points. It's like a mini RPG in every session, and with persistent stats that you write down and you keep track of your campaign. It is a wonderful campaign system, and it has beautiful miniatures. And you know what else is great? These miniatures are already pre-assembled, which means you can play it straight out of the box. Some of the minis actually are in pieces that you will have to push them in together, but you don't have to glue stuff. It's like it goes together. You don't have to there's no sprues. You don't have to, it's not like a model kit. But you can play this straight out of the box. A lot of people like to paint their miniatures also, but you don't have to. And that's a beautiful thing about this game. It's got a lot of different characters. You can finish this campaign and say, I want to keep going with some of the expansion content that's out there, or you can finish this campaign and say, I want to play it again, and I want to play a different character. And you'll level up, and you'll be able to make choices. You can play the same character again and make different choices. Instead of the pistol, I want the heavy rifle this time, and so I'm gonna, there's all kinds of different upgrades, and you can earn money and buy upgrades in between missions and all of these other things. So it's fantastic. It's a wonderful game. It's kind of based on the game Descent, if you're familiar with that. Beautiful campaign system, but on top of all of that, you also get that skirmish mode, which is also very, very cool. In addition to all the miniatures you get in here, you also get cardboard tokens for a ton of additional characters that you can run them too. The miniatures are available through expansion packs. Not all of them are still in print, but most of them are. You can get a lot of those. But you can also just use the cardboard as well. So you have so much gameplay in this one box. It's one of the best values when it comes to like $1 per hour of gameplay. This one probably is the highest value you're ever going to get. Even though it's a big box, it's a wonderful, wonderful big box. It's a beautiful box, and you're going to have so much fun with this one. This one's great if you've got 5 people or less. Whereas one person might be interested in playing whoever usually owns the game kind of has to play the Imperial player, because they're also kind of like the game master, and then everybody else gets to play as individual heroes. So that's kind of how this one tends to run. It's a wonderful game. You're absolutely going to love it. And that's my list. Now, there are plenty more Star Wars games out there for you to discover. Let me know some of your favorites that I didn't talk about in the comments section below. Again, links to all the games that I talked about are going to be down there. You're probably wondering, why are you doing this in October? Well, I wanted to give people time to get things ordered, because why wait till the last minute, right? All right, if you like this video and you want to see more, I do talk a lot about Star Wars games and science fiction games and tabletop games in general. It's kind of what I do. I'd love to have you stick around. If you're not entering for the giveaways and just want to, subscribe anyway, you can do that as well. I'd love to have you either way. Thank you guys so much for watching, and big thanks to my patrons. You guys help make this whole channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all. The spice must flow, and always wash your socks.